Hello, I'm Norman Miller, as some of you might know me as the Beer Nut from the MetroWest Daily News and MetroWestDailyNews.com. This week I'm doing something a little different for the column. Instead of reviewing a certain beer or beers from a certain brewery, I'm going to do a blind tasting. The idea behind the blind tasting is to find these overhyped beers that people travel from around the country to go get or wait in line for hours to buy, compared to more easy to find beers. For example, this week I'm doing Imperial Stouts. They seem to be the style that draws the most attention. There's one brewery, Three Floyds, that has a beer called Dark Lord. They have a whole festival just to release the beer called Dark Lord Day. So I have a bottle of that and several other beers along that level, not maybe as hyped as that, but still the kind that people rush out to get when they come out. And I'm going to try them along with a pair of friends, compare them to regular, everyday Imperial Stouts you can get at any time. Something like North Coast Old Rasputin or Victory's Imperial Stout, because you can go down to the local liquor store, pay $2.50 a bottle, compared to $15 a bottle, waiting in line and just hoping against hope that you get a bottle or two. The tasting is going to be blind, so no reputation is going to be included. It's all going to be based on taste. And here are the 10 beers we're going to be tasting. Dark Lord from Three Floyds, the Abyss from Deschutes, Kentucky Breakfast Stout from Founders, Stone Imperial Russian Stout from Stone, Pêche Mortelle from the Dieu de Seal in Montreal, Oak Day Yeti from Great Divide, Victory Storm King, Hopping Frog Boris the Crusher Oatmeal Imperial Stout, Old Rasputin from North Coast, and only local beer at Berkshire Brewing Company's Imperial Stout.
Hi, this is Charlie Breitrose. I'm a reporter covering Natick at the paper, but today we're drinking the Imperial Stouts and seeing which one's the best one out of the bunch.
And I'm Phil Maddocks, editor of the Framingham and Natick Tab newspapers, and I'm here to taste test and grade.
So we're four beers in. The beers are starting to warm up a little, so we're putting them in the refrigerator just to get them back to the same temperature as their initial ones. So far, all three of us thought beer number 4 was the best of the beers, but it's a little lighter for me. Definitely could taste something I don't want to reveal that I think it determines what it is. But so far, of the first 4, we all agree number 4 is the best. Me and Phil think number 3 is the second best, while Charlie thinks number 1, which I actually gave the lower grade to, was probably the least good. None of these beers are going to be bad. They're all going to be really good beers. And we're also drinking water between each glass and rinsing out each glass to make sure that we don't have any cross-contamination. Eating crackers, just trying to do the best. It's not the most scientific tasting, but I think it's going well so far.
Things are going pretty pleasantly. The rain is staying away, and it's a very good blend of stouts. I think my favorite one, which I don't know what it is, but it's the coffee flavored stout. Very smooth taste, very pleasant for a summer day.
Which number is it?
That would be number 5.
This is what happens when you don't pay attention. The stain on my shirt. And now people are laughing at me.
We're describing what we like in our Imperial Stouts, and some of them are very nice and great tasting, but I think I really like the ones that have complex flavors, some coffee, some chocolate, even some other tastes in it. I think those are my favorites just because it's impressive to get that much flavor out of a beer, so that's kind of what I look for.
What I like about Imperial Stouts, I like the ones that are barrel aged. As Charlie knows, I like pretty much anything at barrel aged. It picks up the nice strong oakiness. A lot of times it picks up a little vanilla flavor. And Jen, our beer server, was pouring me the beer. I also like the strong roastiness. I love the coffee flavors in Imperial Stout. One of my favorite Imperial Stouts, unfortunately it's not out right now, so we weren't able to include it, is also oat. I love the oat flavor. I love the creaminess of the Imperial Stout. Bitterness is not as important. I love bitter beers, IPAs and double IPAs, some of my favorites, but I don't go out of the way for stouts to get bitter ones. I don't shy away from them at all, but they're still not the most important thing to me when it comes to stouts.
I think my favorite thing about stouts is they can be an all-season beer, very full, very flavorful. Can sometimes be like a dessert, can sometimes be like a pre-meal, and sometimes like the meal itself. But I think it's the flavor and the variety and the texture that really attracts me to the stouts.
Alright, the results are in, and number 1 was Kentucky Breakfast Stout with a 39.5. We rated on a 1 to 5 scale on taste, mouthfeel, and smell. And Kentucky Breakfast Stout came in number 1. Dark Lord was number 2 with 39, followed by the Abyss at 38. Boris the Crusher at 37.5, Stone at 36.5, and Berkshire, the only local beer, and I'm very happy that it came this high, was 35. Oakdale Yeti came at 34, followed by Peche Mortel, I don't take French at all, 32.5. Old Rasputin 31.5, and Storm King at number 10 at 28.5. Overall, none of the beers are bad, and you can't go wrong with any of them. And thank you very much for watching.